But I was saying earlier that as part of the number of candidates who will be running and vying for the presidency here in Ghana, Dr. Sam Ankrah is one of them. He is an established economist. In fact, he has quite an enviable, CV. He's an investment banker, a global business strategist, and a development economist with more than 20 years of experience in providing fiscal, strategic, and operational leadership to business organizations in Europe, the United Kingdom, and across Africa. And he's here with us. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Bella.
Thank you for joining us. How are you doing?
Thanks for having me. I'm doing great.
It's been about, what, 3 months since you announced your candidacy as an independent candidate, by the way.
Well, I announced way before, but I did official launch of the campaign 3 months ago.
I see. Yeah. What led you to decide that this is the time to run as president, possibly, for Ghana?
It's a burning desire for change. I just could not sit on the fence looking at what is happening in our country, where we're transferring from one mediocre government to the other, and Ghanaian circumstances are getting worse and worse. I mean, you agree with me that politics really has not changed our lifestyle since independence. There has been pockets of some sort of development, but I think a lot more could have been done looking at our independent classmates, and even countries who don't have a fraction of what we have as a country. So with all this coupled with what I feel I have to offer, inspired me with a passion to put myself on the altar of sacrifice and basically present myself to Ghanaians, present alternative policies that can transform this country, totally different from what is being done now. And I think this is what the country is looking for at the moment.
Looking for alternative policies.
The country is looking for transformative policies, radical policies that would change the destiny of the nation.
What are these policies you talk about?
I mean, first of all, we're looking at a huge government size. Our government size is way overblown. I talk about UK being a country of about 65 million, and yet they have only 300,000 people on the government payroll. Small country like Ghana with about 31 million people, we have over 1 million in our payroll. That is unsustainable. We have government corporations sitting idle, white elephants, and yet we're going to the capital markets to borrow money to pay salaries of workers. I mean, it's not sustainable. We can't continue doing this. We need to get the private sector to drive this economy. There has to be proper enabling environment. And I'm not talking about rhetoric, I'm not talking about slogans, I'm talking about practical, pragmatic measures that needs to be put in place so that businesses can thrive and move the economy. Because government can't be the employer of all.
But you said no slogans, but you came with a no masked campaign or promises. And so is that not a slogan on its own?
Well, not necessarily. It's not a slogan, it's a message. Because we've been used to masked promises. We've been used to politicians promising heaven and delivering hell. They say one thing and look on the other. I mean, the best time you have in politics is during campaign. That politics really affects life. They go and deliver the T-shirts and the 200 cities or the 100 cities to the villages. 2 months after the elections, Ghanaians will start clamoring back, going back to the same situation they were before the elections. So what I'm saying is, in these 2024 elections, there shouldn't be any masked promises. No politicians have in the focus of their campaign honesty, transparency, and accountability. This is what the people need, and this is the only way we can get out of this economic quagmire that we're in.
But when you talk about honesty and all that, so the New Force, for example, they came at you just a couple of months ago as well because they said that you were using their campaign strategy to promote yourself. In fact, they threatened legal action against you, and so they described that as lacking credibility.
Well, I mean, everybody or anybody else can say what they want. This is not a it's not business where people couch a niche for themselves or control a territory that people cannot get into. We're into politics, and it's especially in the democratic dispensation.
And we look forward to seeing your face on the ballot paper eventually. I know the processes to make sure that happens are yet to begin, and so we look forward to that as well. But we've had an exclusive conversation with Dr. Sam Ankrah, who says that he is the Messiah. He's ready to sacrifice himself just to help Ghana.
Like a Messiah.
Like a Messiah, not the Messiah, like a Messiah, yes. And he's ready to put himself as a sacrificial lamb for this country so we can move forward. We hope that you make the right decision come December 7, 2024. It's been a pleasure, sir. We'll come your way, of course, with more conversations right here on TV3 New Day. Keep watching.